I'm Callie, and I'm going to start by defining the following words. Adultification is when kids are seen and treated like adults, even though they're still children. This often leads to them being punished and not getting the care and help that they actually need. Racial bias is when someone is being judged or treated differently just because of their race or skin color, obviously leading to unfair treatment, even if the people don't mean to be hurtful. Racialized gender bias is when someone is mistreated because of both their race and their gender. For example, a black girl might be seen differently than a white girl or black boy because people have specific set ideas in their heads already about black girls. Number 2, school discipline policies address behavior by using punishment as a deterrent. Is the enforcement of these policies during your K-12 experience equitable? How does the enforcement of these policies affect the students who they are used against? I like this question because I could relate to a lot of it, aside from being a black girl, obviously. My K-12 home life was very confusing, and that bled over into me being very confused at school also. So I didn't notice much of what was going on around me. I was always preoccupied, oftentimes counting like different things in the room. Come to find out that was a coping mechanism. So that being said, I can understand how school discipline policies that rely heavily on punishment often fail to address the root cause of behavior, such as trauma or a lack of support, and this directly affects Black female students. These policies contribute to school-to-prison pipeline by criminalizing minor behaviors, which leads to significant consequences for students of all colors. Number 3, give 2 examples of how the good girl, bad girl phenomena is reinforced in our society's culture. Choose one of your examples and explain its potential influence on how Black girls see themselves and how authority figures such as school staff interact with them. My first example is teachers, parents, and strangers may praise white girls blindly for being sweet or well-behaved, while also blindly calling Black girls sassy, fast, or grown, even when they're just expressing themselves. My second example is historically white girls who are middle class, who don't have sex, are considered to be good. And the further that any individual gets away from this baseline, they're going to be perceived as the bad girls. And this is reinforced in today's society through images on social media and other technology, whatever platforms these girls are using, and they're not necessarily positive. Often, young Black girls' only outlet is their Instagram or their Facebook or whatever. And especially if they're facing anxiety and depression. So, number 4, address how a Black girl's behavior or body language may be misinterpreted by school authority figures. How does this relate to overpunishment and criminalization? Black female students' cultural backgrounds and communication style are not always received in the same way due to bias or misunderstanding. In regards to discipline in schools, Black girls are more likely to be punished for being loud, defiant, or having attitude problems, while white girls displaying the same behaviors may be seen as just having a bad day. Black girls' actions or expressions are often misunderstood by school staff because of stereotypes. For example, if a Black girl raises her voice or looks upset, she might be seen as angry or disrespectful, while a white girl doing the same thing might just be seen as frustrated. This is what leads to overpunishment. It can also cause criminalization. When these small actions by Black girls might get them in trouble with the law or lead to being pushed out of school, obviously affecting their future. Number 5, the teachers in the clip discussed strategies they use to address behavior that is traditionally perceived as disruptive. What did they do instead of responding in a more punitive manner? Rather than responding in a more punitive manner, the teachers addressed insubordinate behaviors from a more understanding standpoint. They wanted to understand the student's behavior before getting to the consequence stage. They wanted to identify the root causes instead of punishing behavior right away. They wanted to ask what's really going on. Is the student dealing with stress at home, mental health issues, bullying, or their learning needs are just being unmet? They started creating customized plans to collaborate with the students, their family, and counselors to create goals and support systems. This kind of planning helps students feel supported instead of punished and gives them fundamental tools to succeed. These strategies have been proven to keep students in class and learning, proven to build stronger relationships between students and staff. It teaches communication, responsibility, and empathy, and also, most importantly, reduces repeat behavior issues. Number 6, based on what you have learned from the documentary and any other additional knowledge, what is the first step to addressing the criminalization of Black girls in school? According to the documentary, all of the teachers need to come from a place of loving Black girls and seeing their full potential beyond what they could have even imagined. The teachers emphasize approaching any intervention, prevention programs, or other relationships from a mindset that Black girls are just like anyone else, capable, vulnerable, strong, and worth protecting. Teachers would like more culturally responsive education and social workers available to students. And they want to be helping educators, administrators, and law enforcement understand the harmful impact of racial and gender stereotypes, particularly those that label Black girls as troublemakers or aggressive when they're simply expressing themselves. Lastly, education and training for teachers and staff on cultural awareness, anti-bias practices, and trauma-informed approaches, I think, are crucial to addressing this issue. This will help them recognize the individual needs of Black girls and avoid this over-punishment for often just misinterpreted behaviors. And that's it. Thank you.